Um, I want to keep talking to you. You know, I have no idea what your situation is, but I feel like we have some kind of connection, right?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right. Well, great. So listen, here's the deal. This is what we should do. You should get off the train with me here in Vienna and come check out the town.
What?
Come on, it'll be fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the College Cinephile. My name is Javier Smith.
And I'm Tate Gibbs.
And we are here today to discuss the Before Trilogy. With Valentine's Day coming up, we figured we want to discuss some romantic movies, since it is the month of love. And what better way than to talk about basically what is both Tate and I's basically favorite set of romantic movies, which is the Before Trilogy, which is comprised of Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. Who was this directed by, Tate?
Richard Linklater, my good sir, the genius behind School of Rock, A Scanner Darkly, Boyhood, and something else.
And Dazed and Confused. So
See, I couldn't remember it exactly like the movie would want me to.
Yeah. So this movie stars Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, and basically the premise is a chance encounter on the train in Vienna, Austria, between Celine and Jesse. And basically the film just is a timeline of their relationship about a decade apart. The first film starts when they're about college.
In 1995.
Yeah.
And then Before Sunset takes place 9 years later in 2004. And then everything wraps up in 2013.
So, yeah, and it's just basically just romantic films. There's a trilogy just set 10 years apart each, so we get to see this how this romance evolves over over those 20 years. This trilogy got made because it was based on an experience that Linklater had. You want to tell about that experience, Tate?
Yes. On foreign soil, when he was in university, he met a girl, and they just spent the entire day and night just talking. Because that's what people like to do. We like to talk. And he got that down pat. So much so that he decided to make an entire series out of it.
So we're going to go ahead and just get into what we love about this perfect set of romantic trilogy. So to start off with, it's just how this movie is entirely carried on basically our two main leads' shoulders.
Everything revolves around them.
Yeah, and it's just, it's really something because it's just entirely conversation, like throughout the entire thing. And that is what you're watching, just their conversation. And as they go explore the cities they're in and wherever location they are, that's entirely what is carried of. And that could very easily fall on its face because if there's no chemistry or if there's no, spark, or if we don't sense their connection or if the dialogue is bad, then it just falls apart. But it was able to do that, and because of that, it's just so great to watch them.
Oh, absolutely. It's very reminiscent of whenever you get together with friends or if you meet somebody and you're just able to talk about absolutely anything that you want. Absolutely anything. And then you just keep going because you feel a spark with this person. That's exactly what this movie set to capture the feel of. Especially in Before Sunrise, because that's where everything starts.
Yeah.
But they maintain that same feeling throughout the entire saga.
Yeah, and it's just so great. The other thing is just the down-to-earth feel, which is kind of same with the conversation, but just like the way it's shot and just like the locations, it just feels like this is actually real and happening because they shot on location and just going through, and that really helps with the overall feel and tone of it.
Mm-hmm. They had to. I mean, I think it was all fairly low budget. Like
Right.
I don't know if any of them had a budget of like over 10 million, but I definitely know that some of them were just like a couple million, which when it comes to movies is kind of nothing.
Yeah. The other thing is that because these are set 10 years apart, it shows how they have grown because the way they think, like in the first movie, is not how they think or act or in the next movies.
Oh yeah, they go through a very wide spectrum of changes regarding everything from religious views to political views to how it is that they would think relationships would even bud in the first place. A lot can happen in 18 years.
It evolves as it goes on and stuff, and our characters evolve, and they do, and it's really great to see and stuff. So one question I wanted to ask you, Tate.
Shoot.
Which of these do you have a favorite out of these? Because we both love them equally, like them all. But like, if you had to pick one, which would it be?
I would say, just for where I am in my life, probably Before Sunrise rings at least the most relatably to me. Because I've definitely had conversations with people of this kind of nature before. It didn't end in sex, but they were good conversations nonetheless.
Yeah.
That lasted for entire days. But
Yeah.
I'd also say Before Midnight, because it does show that, even though there's so much greatness to be found in the journey that these two characters go through, they use this as an opportunity to show that it's as awesome as it is, it's not going to be perfect
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah, basically, like, I think I kind of mostly agree with you. I think, like, Before Sunrise is, rings with me because we're basically of that age.
We're in this stage of life right now.
Right, that's where it rings with us. And, like, one of my favorite things about, like, Before Midnight particularly, because it's hard for me to decide whether this one or this one. We still love you, Before Sunset, but just...
You had good music Before Sunset.
But one of my favorite lines from it, without giving too much away, is basically in a conversation that they're having. It's like, if you want true love, this is it. That was one of the lines that Ethan Hawke, told her in like an apartment where they're kind of struggling a bit. It's like, you're not gonna find anything better than I think what we have. Mm-hmm. And it's like one of the, I think, like, for me, one of the, like, gut punches, like, solidifying things of the film.
If there's one thing that Richard Linklater knows, it's how to make conversations flow naturally and how to sort of relish in the emotion that stems from it.
Yeah, because Linklater has become one of my favorite directors. He's like easily top 3.
He's definitely a people person.
Yeah, and it blows my mind. Like I would just ask, how do you make these movies of just it feeling so natural? Like, is it improv? Do you write it? What is it? Just like, how does it work? How does it, go? And I should probably look at more of the behind the scenes, maybe find a bit of that out.
Well, it is Criterion, so they got supplements.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and give our ratings. You kick this off. What would you rate each of the films in the trilogy?
Okay. Before Sunrise, very easy, 5 out of 5 reels for me, 10 out of 10 equivalent. Before Sunset, same, 5 out of 5, love you, man. Before Midnight, of course, I give it 5 out of 5. These just touch on so many nerves for both filmmaking and just as people, I would say. So, and then the trilogy itself, I would give, maybe 3 out of 5. No, I'll give, same as the others, I'll give it a 1 out of 1.
I'm pretty much there too. For the entire trilogy, I've given it 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 for Before Sunrise, 5 out of 5 for Before Sunset, 5 out of 5 for Before Midnight, and I don't think I've ever given a trilogy of films all 5 out of 5. I think this is the first.
Yeah, because as we both said, all 3 of these are some of our favorite romance films. Like in my top 5 romance films that I can think of, all 3 of these are in there.
Yeah, same with me. So like we're like on the same wavelength in regards to favorite romance films, in regards to these being some of our favorites. So anyhow, yeah, it's just something, and we can't recommend it enough. If you're looking for like a real down-to-earth romance film, and 3 of them, here it is. Look no further than this. Thank you for watching The College Cinephile. We hoped you enjoyed this review of the Before trilogy.
Yee. Hold on. I gotta blow. Gotta give the audience a little kiss. Okay. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like our content.
Yeah, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
Ciao.